voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, 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 welcome back, everybody, to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. Sam Flannel in for D-Mac. He will be back in tomorrow. But again, myself, Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter here in the building as well. BMG, Big Mike Gentry, playing the part of Sam Flannel. Typically, you see how that all revolves around into a circle. Yeah, revolutions. Spenmo, how was the weekend, man?
It was a good weekend. Good weekend. Had a good time.
Did you deliver?
Oh, yeah. Always deliver.
I know you did.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Went to the Old Miami, right?
Old Miami, yeah. Had a real good time there. Saturday I didn't do much, and then Sunday I went to my grandma's house and chilled with her and my mom.
Yeah, late Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We did that as well. What about you, Sam Flannel?
Ooh.
Nice sunglasses, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, Friday night was a damn good night, and you guys all know why. All I have to say to all the Steph Curry fans right now is night. This time Steph Curry can't do that dumbass celebration when he hits a dagger when they're already up by 6 like he always does. And I got this message to all you Steph Curry flip-flopping fans who now want to cry about the refs and cry about everything and act like, oh, we never made it a conversation anyway about Steph and LeBron, even though someone by the name of Stephen A. Smith even did. I want you to take this L, hold it, shove it in your mouth, and when you choke on it, I am not going to give you the Heimlich. That is how little I think of Steph Curry and his delusional fan base right now. And Steph Curry now has the honor and the privilege of playing a LeBron James team in a playoff series 5 times and has never outplayed him once. We talk about their finals stats when they play each other. In 4 finals matchups, LeBron versus the Warriors, he gives you 33, 12, and 9 on 48% shooting and 35% from 3. In those same finals matchups, Steph gives you 25, 6, and 6 on 42% shooting and 40% from 3. There's a little bit of a difference, and even in this last series, the one where we all thought at least Steph Curry would outplay LeBron James individually, In Game 6, LeBron James, when he needed it the most, he turned back the clock, gave you 39 and 9 on 10 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 3 from 3. And Steph Curry, he gave you 32 points on 28 shots, 4 of 14 from 3. And Steph Curry, in the final 4 games of this series, when it was 1-1, gave you 29% from 3-point range. And now the dagger is already, it's already in, but I've got some more numbers for you guys. Your fake GOAT, Steph Curry. Steph Curry has 4 All-NBA first teams. That's pretty decent, right? He has the exact same amount as David Robinson, Bill Sharman, Anthony Davis, who everybody tells me is made of glass and sucks, Luka Doncic, who has been in the NBA since 2018, Chris Paul, John Havlicek,
all right, enough,
and Kevin Garnett.
Enough.
Hey.
Enough.
I could go all day.
I know, but we're stopping right now. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Get involved there as well. Jump into there. Steve Brown says, let's hope for no Flannel Sam's NBA talk today. No one cares about the Lakers except him. And Steve, I'm sorry. We failed miserably in that one. We failed miserably. I'm sorry, guys. I know that was mind-numbing. I couldn't take any more either. We fixed it. 9 Drinks said, finally, Neal stepped in. Steven Seira, thank you, Neal, for cutting him off. I'm for the people. None of us in this room, none of us in the WoodwardSports.com chat room, nobody could take any more of that. I lost you, Sam Flannel. That's fine.
He has the same amount of finals MVPs, too. One as JoJo White, Wes Unseld, Bill Walton, Cedric Cornbread Maxwell, Andre Iguodala, Joe Dumars, James Worthy, Chauncey Billups, Tony Parker, and Paul Pierce.
Okay.
Those aren't all-time great players. Some of them are great players, not all-time great.
Shane Sandrock wants to know real quick, and look, the people still are still going to give you a bone here. What about your Tatum take? Does it change after Game 7, Sam?
I will say this. Jason Tatum played one of the greatest Game 7s I've ever seen.
He beat the MVP!
Oh, more on the MVP later. He did the exact opposite. 5 of 18, 15 points in a game where they needed him the most. Terrible. But yeah, Jason Tatum was phenomenal. I'm still upset that they've won 2 games in the series, the Boston Celtics, in which Jason Tatum shot less than 25%, including Game 2 when he was 1 for 7 points. But that Game 7 was phenomenal.
People want the power to your mic cut off right now. You're trending. You're skating on thin ice right now, Sam Flannel.
Right.
Let's just say it like that. So, free JMO shirt, by the way, woodwardsports.com. Kirby Joseph knows.
Yeah, he does.
He knows about the free JMO movement.
Oh, for sure. He's
So
in the streets with it.
Actually, about an hour ago, I was in the Planet Fitness establishment here in Troy on Maple Road. Had a fan ask about it. Woodwardsports.com. Get your free JMO shirt. Well, whatever. I gave you the reasons before, but whatever. Sound Kayak says no more NBA talk until the draft. Real Cream of Wheat said, I need a rock wall. No, you don't. Real Cream of Wheat. You do not. But tomorrow is the NBA draft lottery. So, guys, I'm sorry to break your heart, but we are going to have some discussions about it. We are. Everybody loves the lottery until they don't. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves it. We'll all be locked in, and I'll give everyone another opportunity to just be a man or a woman about it and step up and admit that you're addicted to the draft lotteries.
Well,
admit it.
I mean, of course we're addicted to it, and in the case of the Detroit Pistons, they had the worst record in the NBA, so obviously the Pistons have a huge stake in this one. I guess there's just so much intrigue because the Pistons, if it were another sport, if it were the NFL, you would just be getting prepared for Victor Wembanyama, but because it's the NBA, they could fall to 4 or 5. I don't even want to imagine a scenario where that's the case, but there's just so much intrigue, so much happiness, such a range of emotions that could occur on Tuesday night. And then right after that, we can watch Nuggets-Lakers. Great night.
Absolutely, we can. And hey, you talk about your boy Alternate Days Davis or Data Davis.
Oh, Data Davis.
Yeah, so we gonna see. He gets the smoke. You get the best center in the game.
I mean, he outplayed Jokic in the 2020 Western Conference Finals. That did happen.
Speaking of all that, since you were a big Joel Embiid hype train, we're not going to spend a ton of time on this. I want this out there in the open right now. Sam Flannel, big Embiid guy, right? You guys saw that act yesterday. So Sam Flannel, I'm going to ask you to do what somebody else should have done, maybe what Joel Embiid should have done on that stand during the media availability after that brutal performance in a game set. Jokic would never do what he did out there. But I'll give you the opportunity. Representing the Joel Embiid MVP contingent, can you please take to the microphone and do something that people want to hear? Can you publicly apologize for the theft, the larceny, the flat-out robbery of Nikola Jokic's MVP award by Joel Embiid? Because that was stolen from Jokic, and we'll see. We're getting it all. We're getting it all this series, and that's fine. I know a lot of people, like, you know, they want to trash talk the NBA and all that kind of stuff. That's cool. Lakers Nuggets, lock into that one because it's going to be good. So now, Sam Flannel, on behalf of the Joel Embiid contingent, can you apologize for the larceny, the thievery that was Nikola Jokic's MVP to Joel Embiid, please?
Well, so usually I'm a fan of the whole mantra that the MVP is a regular season award, and obviously Joel Embiid had a dominant regular season. I would say by those numbers, he was as deserving as any. But after the game that Joel Embiid played in Game 7, 5 of 18, 15 points, and a blowout loss where they just basically quit at the end, I do apologize. Nikola Jokic should have been MVP over.
Thank you.
Because Nikola Jokic, I know it's not a playoff award, but his regular season was extremely dominant. You could argue it was the best season of his career. They were the number 1 seed. And then in the playoffs, Nikola Jokic has taken it to another level. If he wins a finals MVP, we're going to be talking about this as one of the most dominant finals runs, certainly by a center ever, maybe by a player
and probably the
ever.
most dominant season from beginning to end in the history of the position as well, and didn't get the MVP only because he had won it 2 years in a row, period. And because guys like Mark Jackson, who vote for the MVP, didn't have him on his ballot.
Yeah.
Said, I forgot
ridiculous.
about him. That's embarrassing, bro.
That is embarrassing.
Embarrassing. So, you know, That just goes to show you, though, the little light that's on, in the back room and how these awards are determined and stuff like that. And guess what? Mark Jackson doesn't. Hey, was he a coach in the league? Yeah. Is he an analyst for big time games? Yes, he is. You can't defend that.
Well,
you can't defend that.
The reality of the situation is Joel Embiid, he has a history of underperforming in the playoffs, and he did it again this year. I mean, in the regular season, he gave you 33, 10, and 4 on 55% shooting. That's obviously phenomenal. But in this playoff series, he gave you 26, 9, and 2 on 42% shooting, 20% from 3, and, by the way, the Philadelphia 76ers were 1-0 in games which he didn't play. And it brings me to a point that you've been making. James Harden, he had some really, really bad games in this series, but he also had 2 games in which he dropped a hyper-efficient 40. And if your
40 plus.
And if your second star gives you 2 40-point masterpieces like James Harden gave you,
you got to win.
You got to win. LeBron James would have taken it home. Yep. Kevin Durant would have taken it home. Giannis Antetokounmpo
if Jamal Murray does
home.
that in this series for the Nuggets are going to beat the Lakers.
And I will agree with that, even as somebody who wants the Lakers to win and is going to end up picking them.
Yeah. NHL playoffs as well. Friday night, absolute elation for me. It was electric. I flew right into the eye of the sun. I got everything I wanted, except for one thing. Toronto bounced by the Florida Panthers. They don't win a game on home ice. I asked for it. I got it. I wanted Toronto to win Game 4 so the Panthers could take it from them in front of their home fans. And I was all fired up. My son had a jiu-jitsu tournament in Chicago. We drove out to Chicago. I listened to the entire game on satellite radio.
Hell yeah.
And got into the hotel as they went into overtime. It was perfect. Flipped the TV on. Electricity going through my veins when the Florida Panthers scored. And nothing from TNT. TNT, you robbed me. You robbed the people of the look on all the Toronto fan faces that we see every single year, but we never take for granted because it's oxygen to us. We need it in our veins. We needed the despair on the faces of the Toronto fans. All the idiots that are out there in the street outside of Toronto's arena, even though they know how it's going to end because it always ends that way. TNT, you robbed me and you robbed the people and you robbed hockey fans around America of the moment that we deserve. The look Michigan fans have all the time in a game that matters. Like that look of just despair and going, we knew this was going to happen, but still we can't believe that it happened. TNT, you robbed us. You did a disservice to the American hockey fan. You did a disservice to sports fans everywhere, and I would like a written apology. Thank you.
That's fair.
When it went to overtime, I think we all knew that the Florida Panthers were going to win. I mean, the Maple Leafs went 0-3 at home in this playoff series. And I actually, and I know this is unpopular, I was rooting for Toronto to win. It wasn't something that I was like, I was dying on the hill of or anything. But, hey, I think it would have been good for hockey.
Boo.
You know what? I'm going to ask Gentry, the resident hockey guy, is it the most blasphemous thing in the world that I don't hate the Toronto Maple Leafs?
No, it's not that bad. I mean, I don't hate the Maple Leafs like Neal hates the Maple Leafs, but I don't like the Maple Leafs.
I don't even hate the Maple Leafs. I hate their fans. Their fans, they're out there in the streets partying like it's New Year's Eve when they win a series. Get over yourself. You haven't been relevant in 40 years, 50 years? Come on, Toronto fans.
Ooh.
Crawl before you walk, man.
I get it.
I'm pissed at TNT about that. Pissed. I needed that.
But Toronto has experienced so much first round heartbreak in the past. What were they? 7 losses in the first round in the past 5 years. I didn't blame them for over celebrating that round 1 win, but hey,
thank you.
They did say we want Florida. They were chanting that.
They got Florida.
They got Florida,
and they got bounced in 5
They
games.
got.
It was another 5-game sweep. Yep. Remember the Pistons with the Lakers?
Oh yeah.
The 5-game sweep. That's what Toronto got. A 5-game sweep from the Florida Panthers. Jack Harrington, Neal is pissed because McJesus is out. Hey, wasn't McJesus' fault. 22 points in 10 games. I blame this one squarely on Ken Holland. Squarely. Dude walks into Edmonton. His first move is to go get Duncan Keith at 81 years old. That was his first move. Don't do it.
Duncan Keith's the man. Spartan dog.
He was great. Wish we had him 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He was integral
man.
to those Chicago Blackhawks
Yeah.
Stanley Cup wins.
Yeah, a decade ago.
Hey,
A decade ago.
still counts. Spartan dog.
Spartan. No, okay, that's fair. You're consistent with that. That's fair. That one is solely on Ken Holland. And if I'm Connor McDavid, and I know you guys don't like this, but I live in reality. If I'm Connor McDavid and moves aren't made and things aren't done, then I'm peacing out.
He has the right to.
I'd say whatever you guys got to do, get me out of here, because I need people that are on my level at what they do. I need that. I need that in the front office. I need somebody competent in the front office. Instead of running this thing and Duncan Keith is your big move, or Jack Campbell, make a move, Holland. Do something in the cap era. That's what I would say if I were Connor McDavid.
The mixed emotions us Red Wings fans feel about Ken Holland and his legacy is unlike anything that I don't think you can make a comparison.
Brandon Katz, Connor McDavid hasn't been consistent in the playoffs. He's got 20 points in 12 games. What else do you want from the man? See, Cats, they keep score of goals. That's how you register winners and losers. When Connor McDavid's out there are more goals on the board than not. Think about it, man. For a sec, he can't do anymore. There's nothing else that he can do. Sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. Helps address the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com. The sports marketing agency, they're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for D-Mac. D-Mac will be back tomorrow. BMG, Big Mike Gentry on the sounds, and of course, Benmo Raxta on the ones and twos. And, we were talking about it, the NBA, NHL playoffs and all that kind of stuff, but certainly the big news locally. Lions rookie mini camp. So really everybody's first look at the Detroit Lions rookie class and what they have going on. And when you look at it, I guess the two main stories that you saw come out there, obviously Jahmyr Gibbs did not play, ankle situation, that was probably number one. And look, it doesn't mean anything to me, because it is just that, like a rookie mini camp and all that kind of stuff. But, it puts people's antenna up, and that's fine. It's kind of a non-story to me. But good news, though, for Mohamed Ibrahim. He was the only running back that was active, right? So good for him.
Good for him. Show what you can. Mohamed Ibrahim, he's one of those guys that probably feels like he should have gotten drafted. Isn't it crazy that Evan Hull of Northwestern was drafted and Mohamed Ibrahim was not? Obviously, he's a little older. He's coming off of an Achilles injury, and he's not really a threat coming out of the backfield, catching passes. But at the same time, Mohamed Ibrahim is one of those guys that when you sign him as an undrafted free agent, it wouldn't shock me at all if he could step right into the NFL and at least give you a few carries a game, 3 or 4 yards, kind of get those in between the tackles. yards. So I don't know. I'm excited about Muhammad Ibrahim, but tempered.
Some of the talk already, and this will spin into it. I'll wait to get to this one because I think it's something that we need to discuss kind of in depth, because even through the Gibbs pick, I think that Jack Campbell kind of becomes the identity of this draft, right or wrong. I think that is the way that it's going to go. But the Love Fest, and look, I'm not saying it's equivalent to last year when we were getting May updates about David Blau taking the offense down the field in 7-on-7 drills and scoring a touchdown. But by all accounts, and this was unilaterally across the board, Sam Laporta showed out. And they said caught everything that was thrown to him, put his hand in the dirt, showed to be a capable blocker as well. So certainly Sam Flannel, that is good to hear, because after Jack Campbell, the Sam Laporta pick probably raised the most eyebrows.
Sure. And Sam Laporta, the thing that I like about him showing out at this workout, at this mini camp or whatever they call it, is that Sam Laporta is a guy that he tested very, very well when it comes to his athleticism scores, his 40 time, his broad jump, everything. That was all off the charts. When it came to athleticism ranking amongst tight ends, according to the NFL.com scouting website, he was third. And Sam Laporta, he showed a lot of those skills, and he's one of those guys that you think maybe was stifled at Iowa, playing with Spencer Petras as his quarterback in that terrible, terrible Iowa offense. He probably feels like he's in heaven going to the Detroit Lions with a capable quarterback, with Ben Johnson. I know we didn't see all of it yesterday, but he's one of those guys that his production was so stifled and limited by like Iowa. He might be one of the surprises of the draft. I remember when he was first taken, I would have preferred Michael Mayer. But when you look at him versus Michael Mayer in pretty much every single measurable except for size, Sam Laporta has him beat. Size and production, that's all that Michael Mayer has. And this is just proof, this showing out that maybe it was the right pick. Maybe he can be the next TJ Hawkinson plus. Maybe they do have a tight end number one, because I still expect him from day one to be the best tight end on this team. And I think he can do a lot of damage with Ben Johnson scheming him open with how well he runs after the catch. I'm excited. I really enjoyed what I saw.
And media, too, they understand the assignment. They know. Discussion on Hendon Hooker. And this comes from SI.com, the Lions rookie minicamp observations. And I know John. John's one of my friends. So, you know, John and I are friends, man. So I'm not like taking a shot or anything like that. It's just what they noted here. Said Hendon Hooker, despite not participating in drills, the rookie observed keenly the coaching instructions from quarterback coach Mark Brunell and assistant quarterback coach JT Barrett. Does that sit well with you? That assistant quarterback coach is JT Barrett?
No, that does not sit well with me, because JT.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
It's not that big of a deal. No, it doesn't matter.
It is a big deal to some of you out there, though.
Well, I mean, JT Barrett wasn't really a quarterback. He was a running back playing quarterback at Ohio State. But still, that's all water under the bridge. And the whole Hendon Hooker thing, of course he has to observe keenly.
Listen to this one, Sam Flannel.
What we got?
Hooker demonstrated his passion and energy all throughout the practice as he high-fived the entire offensive line following drills.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't look too much into it. I want to see him on the field. Obviously, he can't do that right now coming off of an injury. But, you know, there's a lot of leadership type traits that you want in your franchise quarterback. And at the very least, I'm glad that he displayed some of those, no matter what it means. He didn't just kind of sulk on the sideline and fade into the background. I don't think it matters really hardly at all, but he's hurt. What's he supposed to do at this point? There's really nothing that can be proven or disproven to me.
Good job. Nicholas Duncan says, I want to see Hooker play. No, you don't. Guys, we're going to have to work through this as the year goes on. You do not want Hendon Hooker to play. Mm-hmm. If Hendon Hooker's playing, that means something bad happened.
Mm-hmm. In year one, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So can we all agree?
Yes.
Can we all put our hands in, and go team on three? 1, 2, 3. Go team. Like, we understand that, right?
Yes.
We do not want to see Hendon Hooker play.
Next year.
And that's not hate. That's not slander. The following statement is unequivocally true. If Hendon Hooker plays this year, something bad has happened. Period. We can all agree on that.
Period.
Jack Harrington says, factual. Okay. So, all right.
All right.
I just want to get that out there. And this won't be the last time we do this. I know it's the middle of May. I know it was Mother's Day yesterday. I get that. This will be something that we'll periodically revisit as we get closer and closer to the season, as we get further and further into the summer. I get that. And again, it's not hate or anything like that. Dre 10 says, unleash Sudfeld. I'm here for it.
Give the people what they want.
Give them the pill. Hey, guys, don't worry. You'll hear about that in organized team activities in June. Oh, yeah. You'll hear about how Nate Sudfeld took. There's a certain Lions blog in town where they've already got that one written.
Yeah.
And they've already got it timestamped where they're going to send it out. And then if you're critical of it, they'll block you on social media, even though you think they do a good job and you publicly tell them that they do a good job. But whatever.
People are soft.
They are. Yeah. But don't worry. The Sudfeld 7-on-7 drills, we're getting to that time of year, everybody. Revolutions. Revolutions. We're getting to that time of year where you will see that. You'll see that out there.
Oh, yeah. The fact that it's even a thing just shows how football crazed we are. Because, I mean, last year, that whole David Blau article, that was real. That wasn't fake. It seems like it was something we would have made up, but it certainly was not. And it wouldn't shock me at all if a Nate Sudfeld one comes out. It's so weird.
Nasty Nate. Nate Sudfeld getting a lot of love right there. Nate the Great.
Yes.
Nasty Nate.
Nasty Nate.
Has there been a swingback, Spenmo?
No.
Are the people about Nate Sudfeld now?
No.
Is he the TK85 of the quarterback room?
No.
Are we sure?
Yes. He's great value, Jared Goff. Jared Goff off Aldi.
Off of Aldi. Shane Sandrock. I'd rather have Adrian Martinez than Sudfeld. Easy, guys.
No. Adrian Martinez couldn't even lead Nebraska to a bowl game.
You know what? If the Adrian Martinez thing starts, and look, they say never let people see your weakness or anything like that. If the Adrian Martinez stuff starts this summer, especially in preseason, that could break me.
Yeah.
I'm being vulnerable right now. I'm being one with the people. I'm asking you, please don't do it. Please don't do it to me. Please. Like that first preseason game against Carolina when he plays the whole second half and he has 110 yards passing and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And probably 2 fumbles, knowing him. Mm-hmm. Don't do it to me, guys. Please.
He'll probably have a 3rd and 10 scramble in which he picks up 15 that one time, and then it'll be see, we need a mobile element. I don't think anybody is really going to be caping for Adrian Martinez, but at the same time, there might be a contingent, especially if Hendon Hooker's out, that maybe say, hey, let's cut Nate Sudfeld. Let's give Adrian Martinez the backup job or the 3rd string job, even though he couldn't even lead Nebraska to a bowl game. Not one.
That happened.
That did happen.
I saw it happen. He was a turnover. He was the college Dante Culpepper. Turnover factory.
I mean, I'm even man enough to admit this. He handed Michigan a win in 2021 by fumbling when he was trying to lead them down to a game-winning drive and basically gave Michigan a free field goal.
Yep.
That happened.
He did
Sam Flannel blaming Adrian Martinez for the sins of Scott Frost.
Indirectly. Yeah. Zachary Jones. What's good, Neal? What's good, Zachary? Appreciate you tapping into the show on Monday. I do want to have the Jack Campbell. You know what? This has kind of become a de facto thing. I'm kind of laying it out there. Not expectations for rookies. I'm asking the people for favors. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's fair. Here's a favor. You want to know where to get a haircut? Sam Flannel will tell you.
Absolutely. You go to Lady Jane's, they always have me looking real good. I go to any stylist, they always do a great job. And how would you like to win a new vehicle for you and a friend? That's right, a new car for you and your wife, girlfriend, or best bud, or of course, Spencer Raxter. Just get to Lady Jane's and automatically register for your chance to win, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Off and running here on a Monday. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Sam Flannel in for Darren McCarty. My name is Neal Ruhl. BMG, Big Mike Gentry in the house. He's doing the mixing and scratching today. And, of course, Spencer Raxter here in the house. Check out the heavyweights, 5 to 7. Check it out. Spencer Raxter and our guy Easy as well. Lots of pushback from the Sam Flannel Lady Jane's read in live time. Detroit Dabber 313. They always have me looking real good. Some guy in a sleeveless flannel.
That's a fair shot. I get it all the time when I do this read from the chat, but it's fine. My default is always my wife thinks I look good, and that's all that really matters, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed you're wearing pants today.
That is true.
I thought you don't go back.
That is actually, I mean, here's the thing. A sleeveless flannel with, like, shorts, I think that looks really, really tacky. Not that this doesn't, in theory, but at least I can look like I'm going to, like, a metalcore concert or something like that.
Everybody, we need a minute.
Oh, man. That's fair.
Are you prepared now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to move on. Steven Seibert. Oh, yeah, it's the shorts or jorts.
Yeah.
I know the people are. This whole segment's gone now. Like, the people are just going to take this and go.
Dude, I'm telling you, the sleeveless flannel with some real low-cut jorts, that would be a look.
Ooh.
Like mid-thigh jorts.
That would be a heck of a look. It's not my cup of tea, but hey.
That's America right there.
That actually is America.
Oh, boy. We got a long way to go this segment. And, people are running wild with the jorts and the shorts and on brand. Just being on brand like I knew they would. Here, Spencer Raxter, takes time out of his Mother's Day to come up with the show sheet and come up with these riveting topics that we discuss. And we want to get into the Jack Campbell expectations here and now. The baselines, what you expect, and all that kind of stuff. Sam Flannel does a read for Lady Jane's in a sleeveless flannel, and it's all anybody wants to talk about. Quote, his farmer's tan, all of it. Put on a straw hat, Sam Flannel. Mike G wants to know, would a pair of jorts hide the Spenny inner thigh tattoo that he's going to get?
Not inner thigh. Just thigh. Regular thigh.
Sebastian chimes in, says he only wears jorts. I knew it was going to go this way. I knew it was.
You know what's funny? I'm really, really happy that I'm doing the show consistently, not back when I was young and dumb and kind of insecure, because these people would have broke me. Now I don't really care.
They broke John Claus.
Yeah. Poor kid. Yeah. He's such a nice kid. Like when I was his age, shoot, I would have been broken too, but I'm a little older, a little bit wiser, so it doesn't really affect me. I can laugh at myself. I mean, I'm wearing a sleeveless flannel and sunglasses inside. I get it. It's a little tacky.
RJ Graham says Sam Flannel's out here looking like the Tiger King. People want to know if you have Crocs on.
I do not have Crocs on. I got my normal shoes.
Dude, Crocs and jorts would make the outfit.
Oh my God. I could be on like a cover of a magazine or something. I wonder what magazine that would be. It's like, this is Americana.
Yeah.
Tractors Incorporated.
Tractors Incorporated.
That's enough of you guys. That's enough of you people and your sleeveless flannels and all that kind of. Can we talk Jack Campbell, please?
We can do that.
We can do that?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Do we have the permission to go ahead and do that? Again, talking about this story from SI.com. Linebacker Jack Campbell is, quote, day one ready. And the story goes on to say, despite his size, Campbell projects to be able to stack and shed defenders with the capability of quick identification and reading coverage responsibilities. And, the bottom line is this. With the expectations of Jack Campbell, and look, was I enthralled with the pick? Was Braylon Edwards enthralled with the pick? No, we were not, but he's here now. So he's here. And you're a first-round pick, so we go. And we have to go. And given the nature of the position and given the nature of this Lions defense from last year, it is fair to have expectations. Again, I'm a Brad Holmes simp. If this is the guy Brad Holmes rolls with, all right, I'm down. but show us. You know, get Rick Ross, show us. You know what I'm saying? So get out there, and all the accounts are he's day one ready, so let's ride then. But he's got to perform.
Yeah, no, he is. I would think that if he's
and that's fair.
It is absolutely fair. I would say if he's not day one ready, especially with this linebacking core with guys like Alex Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez, no disrespect to them, I think it would be, I wouldn't say automatically a bad pick, but it would be looking a little dicey because I think we all were a little bit, I would say, puzzled by linebacker at 18. Because when you pick a linebacker at 18, at some point, you have to become like the lead linebacker, your captain, your tackling machine, that type of guy. You have to be like a Demario Davis or a Nick Bolton or a Levante David or a Roquan Smith or somebody like that. And Jack Campbell, I think he's a guy that can turn a lot of those runs up the middle. He can fill those gaps and maybe tackle running backs for 3 yards instead of 7 or 8. I think that's what Jack Campbell will be good for. And despite a lot of the questions that are had about him, he graded very, very highly in college in terms of coverage, which, you know, a linebacker is going to need to do that, especially to running backs out of the backfield and even to tight ends or at least in help. But the one thing about Jack Campbell that he didn't really do that much of, and this is, I wouldn't say it's a concern, is that he wasn't really much of a playmaker or a blitzer. He didn't have a lot of tackles for loss. He didn't have a lot of interceptions. So a linebacker at 18 whose job is to be solid, your captain, a tackling machine, that is a bit of a risk. Do I think he's going to be the best linebacker on the team from day one? Abso-freaking-lutely. But
okay,
I don't know how much. There might be a ceiling on how much it can impact the defense as a whole. But at the same time, they made a lot of other upgrades, particularly to the secondary. I don't know if Jack Campbell is ever going to live up to being the number 18 pick overall. I don't think you can as just sort of a Leighton Vander Esch type linebacker.
Jonesy 5182. Jack Campbell will do what Aiden Hutchinson couldn't. That is win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's not a mercurial rookie in this class though, like Sauce Gardner is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's. Any other year, Aiden Hutchinson would have been the Rookie of the Year. Well, any other year, but with Sauce's year.
I mean, I think Will Anderson is. You already know my feelings on Will Anderson. He's breaking the rookie sack record this year.
Okay, so there is that as well. Nicholas Duncan, I'm not sure what relevance this has to the conversation, but he says Goff equals free ball. So I can't. Maybe he doesn't wear underwear, or I don't know.
If he doesn't.
You're an advocate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love walking around naked. It's a great feeling.
Mike G said, somebody else said hashtag free JMO. Here's a t-shirt, woodwardsports.com. Feel free to jump in to that one as well. But, yeah, interesting to see what the people thought or think. Thomas Ackerson says that Jack Campbell's floor is Rodrigo's rookie season. You're a Rodrigo guy.
I am.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, that is what he was drafted to be. He was drafted to be the guy. So you got to expect that from him. You got to expect that coming in, is that he's going to be the best linebacker on the team. And I hope so. I hope he goes out there and he proves that his draft position wasn't a mistake and that he is that guy. I expect him to be a very good player.
Brandon Katz says Campbell's going to be a fall guy for people looking to give Brad Holmes a pass for doing nothing significant to improve the Lions' run defense. And Brandon, look, like I know like a lot of people are killing you on the comment and stuff like that. There is an element of truth to what he is saying. And, the simps out there, which I am a self-proclaimed Brad Holmes simp, he did go on the line a little bit right there with that pick. And people want to talk about like the position, right? That I think that's what turned people off because of like perceived value. What we've been trained to think about the draft is you don't do running backs in the first round. You don't take off-ball linebackers, with a top 20 pick. Non-traditional points of emphasis, or in the Lions' case, areas of need that they had the ability to get what they believe to be the best in order to help that situation.
Sure.
He went on the line a little bit. I will say that.
Well, of course he went on the line because there were no other inside linebackers drafted in the first round. You even look at Jack Campbell where he was drafted versus, I know, one of Spenny's guys, Diane Henley, versus where he was drafted. Going into the draft, I didn't think there was that big of a gap between the two in terms of one being a first rounder and one being a third rounder. So it most certainly is a risk. But now that he's our guy, now that he's the Detroit Lions guy, I'm trying to look at the positives and what he does well, which is he was a tackling machine. He was good in coverage. I think you're right. His floor is something like Malcolm Rodriguez's rookie season, and I think it's expected. And I also think his ceiling as a rookie is Leighton Vander Esch's rookie season. And I think at some point, in order for it to be a successful pick, at the very, very, very least, he has to have the career that Chris Spielman did. I'm not saying they're the same kind of players, but multiple Pro Bowls, a cornerstone piece on this team. Do I think he can do it? I think he has the talent to. And I also don't think there's a bust factor to Jack Campbell. I think at the very, very least he's going to be solid. But solid's not good enough for 18.
And that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Well, I mean, define solid though. Like 100 tackle guy. I think when you boil it all down, when you look at, because look, this is the time and place we are in our lives and society and everything. Everything's 0 or 100. Mm-hmm. Like that, you're either a Pro Bowler, All Pro, or you're a bust if you're not that. And that is not true. And I go back again. Sorry to bring up basketball, guys. Sorry, we're just going to do it for a second. The whole KCP thing.
Sure.
With Denver. If Denver wins a championship, KCP will be a large part of why they did that.
Of course he will.
Who is a solid pro. Solid. Going to have a great career, fills his role perfectly, is high level at what he does. He's not a perennial all-star. He's not an MVP, but you need dudes at some point, too, to win. You can't just, not everyone can be an all-pro. You need those kind of guys to win. If Jack Campbell is like a KCP type in 5 years, where he's excelling at what he does, his role, you know what you're going to get, there's not a lot of variance to it, I think you can be that at 18 and be a successful number 18 pick. Just like, see, people, in the end, was Stan Van Gundy right about KCP?
Yeah, where he picked him, sure.
The KCP Trey Burke debate, can we put that to bed finally?
We absolutely can.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and this is even me, right, where I fly off the handle sometimes and get pissed about stuff. But if he's a 100 tackle a year guy and there's no debate and he can hold his own in pass coverage, then I'm cool with that at 18.
Well, and that's the terms we have to look in, because living up to be a number 18 overall as an inside linebacker, that's tough. But maybe we have to get out of thinking of those terms. I mean, shoot. Jack, hold on, you go ahead, Neal. My mind just went blank. I'm not going to lie to the audience right now.
What's that?
My mind just went blank.
About what?
On air. Just about everything.
About your fashion choices?
About my fashion choices,
because
yes.
I could tell that went blank. No, but again, and you know, and the people are talking about it, and Brandon said that Holmes got arrogant. And look, you can say what you want and call me a Brad Holmes simp. I said it first, so you can't really say something that I already said to begin with. I do like that strategy of going and getting the best at a position, which was my whole, and again, I got laughed at it, even though I was right, the whole Jake Moody situation. He's the best kicker on the board. If you want him, you got to take him early. What round did he go in? Third round.
Third round.
You know what I'm saying? And people were like, what? He's a kicker. He'll go 7th round, 6th round. History has shown when you are good at the position, you get drafted early or perceived to be good. Not everybody works out, but that's the way that it goes.
And Jack Campbell, if he does what you say he does, is solid, I would say maybe has Alex Anzalone's season last year as almost every year of his career. To me, that would be solid. And the Lions defense plays well and they win. Nobody will even remember that he was 18 overall. All they will say was that Jack Campbell was a big piece on a winning team.
See, but here's the nature of the beast, though, with that position. And I think this is why people don't value drafting the position. Because if Jack Campbell comes in here and has 100, 115 tackles, whatever it is, holds his own in pass coverage, and he's going to have moments where he gets cooked, look at the tight ends in the league.
Sure.
It's going to happen. So we just need to wrap our heads around that. And that'll be, and you know me, like I'm honest about it. Like opening day, opening night in Kansas City, if Travis Kelce gets locked up on him and Kelce pulls a pass down and sheds him, we know how it's going to go, right? People, oh, my God, he's a bust and stuff like that. Like, bro, that's Travis Kelce.
It's the best tight end of all time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to happen, especially first half of your rookie year. It is going to happen. Now, I will say you have to get better. I will say that, and I'll be right, and I'll be justified in saying it. But still, the nature of what he does and why is he here? Like, let's cut the shit. Why is he here?
He's there to fill a need, which is be like the number one linebacker on this team.
And stop a team from having 300 yards rushing and a half against you.
Absolutely.
That's not sexy.
No.
That's not on the highlight reel. When a running back has a 2-yard carry that maybe last year would have been an 8 or 9-yard carry, that's not on NFL prime time.
No.
Chris Berman's not, Jack Campbell soup makes the tackle for a 2-yard gain. No, that's not on there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So by nature, it's not going to be flashy.
Well, and that's kind of what I said at the beginning. Make those 7 and 8 yard gains like 3 or 4 yard gains. That's what Jack Campbell really excelled at Iowa. Was obviously a tackling machine, has a nose for the football. And one of the easiest ways to lose in the NFL is give up long runs, give up those passes out of the backfield where a running back shakes one guy and goes off for 15 or 20 yards. And I think Jack Campbell can definitely be of help with that and be the best on the team at that. And if he is, and if this defense plays well, Jack Campbell is going to be looked at as a good pick. And that's what we all want.
That's what they need. If the Lions are going to go and we're going to go and where everybody thinks they are and win divisions and win playoff games and stuff like that's a non-negotiable. It has to happen. You're counting on a rookie play right there. You are.
That's the dangers of having a rookie who we're already like he has got to be the best linebacker on the team or else it's a failure. That's a lot.
It is a lot. Cintron's a lot in the energy drink game. They're the king, as a matter of fact. They're the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, and you guys know what it is. A limited edition Red Wings variety pack. Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward, $15. Free shipping to your door. That's it. That's all. You get to try them all. The great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free. Okay. Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward today. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for DMAC, BMG, Big Mike Gentry. We'll talk to BMG a little bit later on. Red Wings prospect watch. I love that. BMG's got to clue me in on what's going on. BMG, you're going to be able to tell me who they're going to take in the draft or not?
I don't think anyone can tell you who Steve Eisenman's going to take.
All right. Okay. How about you got an educated guess or not? Just say no if you don't.
I like Oliver Moore, but there's a few guys. Right now I haven't whittled it down.
All right.
Oh, my mic was muted.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I didn't
So tell
know.
the people.
But no, I like Oliver Moore. I like a few guys. I haven't really done my studies down to dwittle it down to 2 or 3 people yet. But
all right,
it's tough to tell who Steve Eisenman's going to take.
BMG on his camera looks like he's like an 11-year-old child, doesn't he?
I don't know how to fix this camera. I've only been
Just
in this
lean
the
laptop forward.
All right.
Let's see
there
now.
There you go. Beautiful.
Now his face is going to be right in your face. There he is. He's still, look with the hat, though.
Yeah.
He looks like the paper boy. Collect. You're 2 weeks behind. Collect. All Wrapping up real quick, too, there were these I wanted to get to about the Connor McDavid discussion. Rab says, I need Connor McDavid to have 21 points in 5 games. That's what I need. Some people out there are out there like that. Edmonton's too top-heavy. Can't pay Darnell Nurse that kind of money either. That was a Ken Holland special. I agree. I'm so glad he isn't here anymore. Hronek and Ned would be locked up in 8-year deals. So there is that one also. But we are talking Detroit Lions, and we are talking about Jack Campbell. And, what are the expectations? And I think we're past the point of, quote, expectations. It has to happen for this to happen. He has to play well for this team to get to where it wants to go. And we know the hype machine. And Spemo, like Peter King has the Lions number 6 in the NFL power rankings, in front of Baltimore and Miami, and the Jets is a classic media overreach, by the way.
I don't know. I think the Jets will be good.
Cowboys at 10. They have them in the waters, man. Right behind, one spot behind Buffalo.
God. Look at
2 spots behind the 49ers.
6. I can kind of talk myself into it because I think the Lions' ceiling in terms of the NFC is behind Philadelphia and San Francisco. And now and they're not better than Kansas City. They're not better than Cincinnati. They're not better than Buffalo. So if that's the case, maybe they're 6, but I still have, I think you can make an argument for the Cowboys being better than them, the Seahawks, the Chargers. 6 is aggressive. At this point, like that's stoked, not scared, and that's Peter King. I don't know. When I first saw
so
that,
you're more scared, not stoked, then.
Well, when it comes to ranking them 6, and I'm talking too in terms of the AFC. The AFC is obviously. I mean, I could even make an argument that the Jaguars are still better than the Lions, and even they mentioned.
I don't know. We pooped on the Jaguars last year.
That is absolutely true. And then they mentioned the Ravens. I think the Lions are better than the Ravens. I think that. I like the Jets. I'm kind of with Spenny on that one. I think the Jets could be better than the Lions. But 6, that just shows what... I mean, Peter King is not just some slouch.
Pistons fan 11 says Peter King knows football.
He does know football.
But then Jack Harrington says right after that, Peter King is a Sam Flannel of sports media.
Oh, okay.
So not a fan. But the moral of the story is this. Is, like, we're talking about Jack Campbell, and he's here to shore up a visible weakness that this Detroit Lions defense had. To be that, to be what Peter King said, to be a slot behind the Buffalo Bills, to be right in front of Baltimore, who just re-signed their quarterback, like they're ready to go now, and in the breath with the 49ers and the Bengals, like Flannel, and maybe I'm flip-flopping and stuff like that, but I'm kind of talking my way through it now. The Jack Campbell thing being good is a non-negotiable. It has to happen. To be that, it has to happen.
To be that, Jack Campbell has to be good. The revamped secondary has to be everything that we hope that they are. Like, improve leaps and bounds from the season before. Aiden Hutchinson has to take a step. James Houston has to take a step. Guys like Malcolm Rodriguez and Kirby Joseph have to continue on their upward trajectory. Some guys on the defensive line like Isaiah Buggs and maybe even Levi Onwuzurike, John Kaminsky, all of those guys have to play well. And even Jahmyr Gibbs, you would think if they are the 6th-ranked team in the NFL that even Jahmyr Gibbs will have a stellar rookie year. I mean, it would take a pretty big parlay to hit for that to happen. But at the same time, a lot of the guys that I mentioned are very much proven. It's not out... Like I said at the beginning, if they are the 3rd best team in the NFC, which I think is possible, I think 6 is their ceiling. So I don't necessarily hate it, but it would require a lot of things to go well. And I haven't even factored in injuries yet, which we know is going to happen.
Andrew Klingerman says, I highly disagree. We went 8-2 and finished as a top team. We almost beat the Bills, so how are they automatically better than us? Well, Andrew, because they didn't beat the Bills. And in one of those 2 that you talked about, they give up 300 yards rushing in a half, man. And I don't want to hear about the field or any of that stuff. Those are the numbers. Like, that happened. We all watched it. Like, it was a victory to hold Carolina to a 10-yard rush during portions of that game. That's real. I'm not hating on you, Andrew. Like, I see where you're coming from there. But those are the questions. And this kind of popped in my head. And you guys know the terminology I use with the Tigers. Opening day last year, you're counting on a rookie parlay. Mm-hmm. Let me know how that works. Let me know how it's worked throughout time. And look, guys, before you even hit the keys right now, Torkelson and Riley Green were as lauded, probably more lauded than Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Is that fair?
Yes.
I'm drawing some cross comparisons here.
Yeah, it's fair.
And they failed miserably that year. And I know it's different sports and all that kind of stuff, but wrap our heads around the concept of what you're counting on.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And look, Gibbs is more insulated probably than Jack Campbell is, like with the room and the people in the room and all that kind of stuff, and more insulated. Like Riley Green and Torque were on the high wire, and there was no net, and they were the ones out there. So Gibbs has some wiggle room, obviously, with David Montgomery's a proven pro and all of that. But Jack Campbell's on the island, man. The island of 300-yard rushing halves. It is. It's real. And I'm not being a hater.
No.
I'm not. But this is real. Yeah. And this will have to happen for them to be good. It has to.
Well, I mean, if Jack Campbell has that rookie Leighton Vander Esch type season, then I think we can definitely talk about them maybe being number six in the NFL in terms of power rankings. And you mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs. You're right about him. He's not really being asked to. He's being asked, I wouldn't say to be a gadget kind of player, but David Montgomery is going to be RB1 for this season. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be asked to get more opportunities in space where he excels, both catching the football, maybe in the slot when J-Mo is out, and getting some carries like off tackles, not really between the tackle carries for the tough yardage. But Jack Campbell, you're right. If he comes into the NFL, and I'm not saying that it is going to happen. If some of those concerns that Braylon Edwards and yourself articulated about coverage and speed and being a 6'5" traditional linebacker, if some of those fears are realized, it's going to be very painfully obvious from week one. And they are not going to hit their potential. But I also mentioned a lot of other factors. The secondary, I don't think those are proven players. Aiden Hutchinson, I would say, is proven. James Houston is proven. Kirby Joseph and Malcolm Rodriguez, although they were just 1 year, proven. So I don't know if it's necessarily rookie parlay hitting or bust. I think it would take a rookie parlay hitting for them to hit their ceiling, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Right, which, again, we were counting on that for the Tigers last year. Chuck Brewer says, Neal, I understand the 300-yard vent you go on, but I also wonder if you put too much weight on one game, though. Okay, Chuck, well, let me back it up then. Jack Campbell stepping into a defense and has to be a primetime contributor in football games so they can, make an NFL team punt in a game, because that also happened in a game that the Lions played. Seattle Seahawks did not punt. You need a team to punt at some point if you want to win. You have to stop them. That is the way that it works, Chuck. Is there another game that you want me to go to? You see what I'm saying? It's real. I know we're taking our hits, and we're getting that Honolulu Blue magic, from the dealers, and we're lining up on it. I understand that, but we're talking about Jack Campbell here, and this is how he fits in real life. And it's not day one. I don't expect him to lock Kelsey up in coverage that first night against the Chiefs. That's not fair. That's not fair and this is me saying that.
Yeah.
But he also, too, wasn't the number 2 overall pick. So it is a little bit different from that perspective. But again, for me, these are the waters, guys. I do think through all the hopium and all the excitement, we say we're swimming, but we're just kind of sitting with our feet in the water.
Chuck Brewer said something in the chat. They didn't give up 300 yards rushing versus Seattle. They upgraded their DBs in spades, but they also gave up 151 yards on 17 carries to Rashad Penny. That's still just a terrible defensive performance, and that can't happen again this year. And for the record, I don't think it will, but when you score 45 points and lose, what's the record of all NFL teams in the history of the league that have scored 45 points? They probably have a 99+ winning percentage. One of those losses was the Lions last year. That can't happen again, and that loss more than any directly knocked them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, and WoodwardSports.com chat thread. There was another one on here. Burn says, 3 is a trend, Neal. Give us the third game last year. All right, when the Eagles come in here and put 38 on the board.
That's true.
Can't give up 38 and win, man.
I mean, they gave up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to Minnesota, went up 10 at Minnesota. I'm not saying that that's a whole team defense failure as a game, but still, That's another thing. When you have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, you got to close it out.
You got to win.
You got to win.
Those are the things, man. Because when you're swimming in these waters, all those teams at the front of that list are only going to lose 5 tops.
Absolutely.
So you don't get freebies. You don't get shoulda won, almost won. Like we should have beat the Bills last year. Almost beat the. No, that shit doesn't fly now.
Nope.
If you're in these waters, it doesn't fly. So, that's what it is. I'll tell you what flies for lunch, though.
Cousins Man Lobster for sure, because Cousins Man Lobster is what's going on, man. Woodward Sports is brought to you by Cousins Man Lobster Detroit. Check out their food trucks rolling around the city, offering the tastiest lobster rolls, lobster tacos, and more. Go to cousinsmanlobster.com and search locations to find the Detroit schedule, or download the app, order ahead, and earn points. You can even scan that QR code right there and figure out where they are rolling around the city. Make sure you check out Cousins Man Lobster.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Neal Ruhl here for Randy Wise Automotive. How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports. More information will be coming soon about the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Pushing up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for DMAC BMG, Big Mike Gentry here. Spend more relaxed as we go to hour number 2, all of you in the woodwardsports.com chat thread. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, to the Big D Energy podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. However you do it, if you could rate it and review it, Spenmo.
5-star.
Absolutely, please. Get the algorithms bumping, get it out in front of more people. You guys are doing a great job with it, by the way, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I was going to tell you guys, too. I forgot this. So I was in Chicago on Saturday, and we were Michigan Avenue, kind of walking around, taking in the sights before we went home. Got stopped by somebody in the streets in Chicago. They're like, "Hey, you're on Woodward Sports, man. I watch you. I watch you with DMAC." They didn't say my name, but whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
So it was pretty dope, man. That's the first time that's happened like outside of the city.
Countrywide.
Yeah, nationwide. So thank you guys. It's because of all of you guys tapping into the show. Brandon Cat says don't care. Okay, cool. Steve Wild says, bro, not considering the growth of the young players last year. Why can't I ask the question? Like, for real, why can't I? That's a legitimate question I'm asking, and then boom, you're a hater.
I mean, that's...
Why?
Well, for the record, I did say that I think Aiden Hutchinson will make a step forward. James Houston, Malcolm Rodriguez, and Kirby Joseph.
The reason the Lions are in this position to get all the run and to get all the discussion is solely because of the development of the young players. Because the young players are the one Brad Holmes brought here. The only reason they're in this position is because of that. I don't understand why I can't ask a question about it. Like, just ask a question. Say, hey, do we feel as though we're good enough to not allow a team to run for 300 yards and a half? That's hate? That's a legitimate question, Steve. Like, come on. Why can't I ask the question? Why?
I don't know, because the last season in which the Lions played NFL football, they did have 2 major defensive meltdown games. And that is fair. We would like to think that the Lions have learned from and are sort of rid themselves of those games. But even when the Detroit Lions had that run of 8-2, the game that really knocked them out of the playoffs was that game at Carolina where they gave up over 300 rushing yards to Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman. that can't happen again. And if the Lions want to be in those waters with teams like San Francisco, Philadelphia, teams that are perennial playoff teams, that have been to Super Bowls, that have won Super Bowls, you can't have meltdowns like that. You just can't. And they weren't even a professional defense in that game. I know that sounds harsh, but when you give up a franchise record to Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman, that's a kick in the nuts.
In a must-win game.
In a must-win game.
You had to have it.
And you didn't have it.
And they didn't. And I asked the question, like, are we prepared to deal with it? Are the rookies prepared to deal with it? Because that's what they're walking into.
Well, I also think that a lot of the fans, and this is a credit to Brad Holmes, are used to rookies coming in and looking like dudes right off the bat. I mean, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, who, for the record, it took him a little while to get his legs under him. James Houston didn't even play for the first part of the season. Kirby Joseph looked lost at the beginning. Malcolm Rodriguez was really the only one that, from day one, looked like he was at least worthy of being a starter. I guess Aiden Hutchinson, too, but he struggled. But the bottom line is all of those guys ended up being major contributors on this team. And I didn't even mention Aleem McNeil. So I think people are just assuming that he got 4 or 5 more starters. And I think that's fair.
And Aleem McNeil's another one of those guys where he's not going to have, again, by nature of the position, he's not going to have 18 sacks. And he's not going to have 54 tackles for loss or any kind of those crazy numbers like that. Aleem McNeil's one of those guys that really is trending to be a solid pro. Guys you win with. You win with those kinds of guys. Like good, solid, dependable. You know what you're going to get. You need those guys.
You would take, if you knew that you were going to get an Aleem McNeil type player as your 3rd round pick, especially on a unit as valuable as the defensive line, you would take it 100 times out of 100. I kind of feel like with Aleem McNeil right now, you know what you're going to get. He's going to be solid against the run. He's going to take on blockers. He's going to give you some interior pressure, but he's never going to be a star or probably even a Pro Bowler, but that's okay.
Mike G says Rule Breaker is a fine regional celebrity that extends to Cook County. So that is true. Chuck says, Neal, you asked the question with tone that comes across that you have answered it already. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. I asked the question.
I kind of get what I don't agree with him, but I kind of get what he's saying. As with almost
explain, please.
With like
help me.
A little bit of a righteous indignance, like there's going to be an element of if it doesn't work out, I told you so. Am I crazy or am I off base with that? I'm kind of curious what the chat thinks. There's a little bit of tone, but I mean,
what do you mean? If it happens, I told you. What does that even mean?
That means if it doesn't go well, I think you're going to be right back here being like, I was told that Jack Campbell was going, like, you know what I'm saying?
But then wouldn't I have been right for being concerned about it?
Right, bro.
No, I don't want to be right.
That's the thing. That's what I want you to get across to the people, that you hope that you're wrong. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Why would I want them to lose? I've been a fan of this team since before I can remember.
Neal, I've met a lot of people here, but nobody enjoys being right no more than you.
No, that's not true. Nobody keeps score the way I keep score.
You do keep score.
This is a scoreboard business.
This is a scoreboard business. No, I don't agree. You're allowed to ask questions, but this idea that there's no tone
unless
whatsoever.
You're an elite. Well, let's pull the curtain back. Unless you're an elite entertainer, this is a scoreboard business.
Sure.
Now, it's rare you get somebody that is the combination that is right often and is an elite entertainer. That's rare.
Like Neal Ruhl, right?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
All right.
It's rare, though, that you get that combination. There are very few.
The bottom line, though, is that
Final
word is that it is okay to ask certain questions. There's no guarantees in the NFL. And Peter King putting them as the 6th-ranked team in the NFL, in order to swim in those waters, you're gonna have to make drastic improvements from last year, which I think they will.
Chuck says, Neal, it comes across to me that you're saying Campbell is going to be a failed pick. You don't want to go all the way to saying it. Chuck, no, I'm not saying that. Who took Jack Campbell?
Brad Holmes.
Who's the biggest Brad Holmes simp? Self-admittedly.
Neal Ruhl.
So why would I want to say he's going to be a failed pick? I don't get that logic. My point is, I'm putting it out there what the gravity of the situation is.
That's fair.
And like we're all hype about all this, but there is a chance. I'm just saying, like, there's a chance it all doesn't work out, right? Like, there's a chance.
There's a chance, but with Brad Holmes, that's the thing. There really hasn't been anything that didn't work out. I mean, maybe you could argue Levi Onwuzurike. Well, actually, I would say Levi Onwuzurike, but his book is still being written, and maybe so far Jamison Williams. But when we're talking about, 7 starters in the first 2 drafts, 7 undisputed starters, I just think people assume that it's going to be more of the same with this draft, and it's looking like it will be, but we don't know yet. And starters does not even necessarily mean impact players, especially given some of the holes that the Lions have on defense.
Right. Every time we talk Lions and we talk the Lions rookies, there's always 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe just 1 or whatever, but without fail, if you look, you find one. There's always a Jalen Carter text. Always.
It's always Brandon Katz, too.
This one's Rustin Burks. Jalen Carter is, quote, going to fade away like a fart in the wind, unquote.
And Jalen Carter was, and I get it, he's gone. He's not, the Lions don't have him. But at the same time, he's, to this day, if I were Brad Holmes, I would have stood pat at number 6 and taken Jalen Carter. So I am going to be watching his career very, very closely. Now that he's on the Eagles, who they were okay with taking him, but the Lions weren't, I hope that he ends up flaming out. I hope that all of the concerns were valid, because it wouldn't have meant that the Lions passed up on somebody great. But I think it is fair, seeing as how they didn't address their defensive line, the Lions, until the 3rd round of the Broderick Martin, to kind of be like wondering, what were you doing not taking Jalen Carter? It's fair. And I know at least me, you, Neal, and Spenny were big Jalen Carter guys. I'm not sure about you, Gentry. I'm not going to speak for you. But I think we were all at the draft party being like, oh my God, we got Jalen Carter. Didn't happen. So there's a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Kyle Bird said he's officially getting sued by the family of his teammate who died. Is that true?
Yeah.
Carter's named in the lawsuit also? I know they were suing Georgia.
Yeah, they're coming after Jalen Carter.
For what?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but he's going to need a guardian. I'll tell you that.
No, he absolutely will.
And if you need a guardian, you can just call them, because Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. Even care about Sam Flannel's flannels. How many straight days of flannel protection?
276.
276. Oh, how the days pass. So if you want that kind of protection, call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
One more time for the people in the back. 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of the fucking playoff, Steph Curry forever.
Jesus,
wow, man.
I hate that man. I hate his fans.
You just hate greatness.
I love LeBron.
All right. Jesus, man. Stay out of the stat column with a 3 for 16 field goal performance, Jamal Murray. Joker needs you.
Well, you heard it here first. Call Guardian Alarm and let them help you. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Back at it, pushing Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Sam, Flannel in for D-Mac. D-Mac will be back tomorrow. We got BMG, Big Mike Gentry, and, of course, Spencer Rockstar here in the building as well. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day yesterday and got that going on. Key Ozzy, WoodwardSports.com chat through. I can't believe the first preseason game is just a little over 2.5 months away.
That is right, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. We wouldn't know it by the weather because it's like never nice.
Yeah.
Even when it's nice.
It's nice today.
A lot of good that does us on a Monday, sitting here in the studio. Thanks.
Fair.
Thanks for that.
Just saying. At least you get to leave.
Yeah, that is true.
Spenny does not.
Spenny does not. No, Spenny will be in here. Again, the Jalen Carter slander is hot in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Which, again, going back to what the people said. Okay, well, I'll talk about the positive. He was the first rookie to sign.
He was.
So he wasn't up there like holding up the organization over
he needed the money.
A couple $100,000. Yeah, he needed retained legal counsel. I guess so. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But yeah, that's I just asked the question. That's all. I thought it was a fair question. I just want everyone to understand the perspective of what we're going what we're going to get into in all of that. Tigers won a game yesterday against the Mariners after getting their ass kicked the first 2 games of the series. And I did want to ask the question real quick. And I know there are a few of you that are, quote unquote Tigers fans, and you watch the games and all of that. Tigers sitting at 18-21 after starting the season 2-9. They're 4 games back of the first place Minnesota Twins. They're 6-4 in their last 10, as the Twins are 6-4 in their last 10. So, like that good run they had, they haven't really gained any ground. That's if you want to get granular about baseball stats. When you look at those last 10s and how hard it is to make up ground, like 10 games is a significant chunk of games. That's a week and a half of games, and over the last week and a half, they gained no ground.
They didn't gain any ground, but they didn't lose any ground either.
So that's it, too. Tigers with a -44 run differential, despite the fact they are 18-21.
Yeah.
Hey, when they lose, they don't dick around. They lose.
That's fair.
They lose. I just wanted to touch on it because, again, I don't know how much longer you're going to get to be able to do this. Robert360 says, great comeback win by the Tigers. Michael says the Twins will go on a losing streak by midseason. What's the ceiling? What's the ceiling about this Tigers team, and what do you expect in things like that?
This Tigers team, 75 wins, I'd say would be the ceiling. I don't really know. I mean, that's a lot. I'll tell you what, that is a lot more than last year. I don't know how much good that does, but here's the thing. There have been some positives. I mean, Riley Green, I think he's having a good year. He's showing some of the faith that the Tigers had in him. He leads them in batting average and on base percentage and hits. Jake Rogers is showing some power, even though he's hitting under 200, which, I mean, I don't value anyone who hits under 200, but at least when he hits it, it's going over the fence, which is good. Obviously, Eduardo Rodriguez, who probably won't be on the team very much longer, is having.
Don't tell Ryan Ermanni that.
I won't tell Ryan Ermanni that. But he is having a Cy Young caliber season for now. They have a closer in Alex Lang, a setup guy in Jason Foley, who are obviously very, very good, trending towards being all-stars. Here's the thing, though, and this is something where I have a little bit of a disconnect with some of the fans. And I'm kind of curious, Spetty and Neal, if you agree. I think that Spencer Torkelson is becoming almost like the Killian Hayes of the Detroit Tigers.
Whoa.
Somebody who's done absolutely nothing in his MLB career. His batting average and his on-base percentage is pretty on par with last year's. Batting average is a little bit better. But I just keep hearing about, oh my God, the way he hits the ball, he's just so unlucky. Oh my God, the way he picks it at first base. But then you look at his on-base percentage and you see a big fat 2 in front of it. Just like with Killian Hayes' field goal percentage, you see a big fat 3, and his three-point percentage, a big fat 2. And there's a lot of people that get really upset if you say anything about Spencer Torkelson. The bottom line is he has to be better. He's a little bit better than he was last year. He was a lot better in May than he was in April, but still, it's concerning. Threat level 10.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jonesy5182 says the ceiling is the roof, which is accurate.
Shout out MJ.
He also says, dude, don't do that to Torque. And Jonesy, like, do what? Don't do what to Torque? What's the on-base percentage, Flannel?
It is, let me pull it up. It's in the 280s.
Okay. Like, in what world is that acceptable?
285. That's not acceptable.
Like, guys, come on.
You're a below replacement level baseball player if you have a 2. If your on base percentage starts with a 2, I don't want you anywhere near my roster. That's just reality.
And it is. And look, like, I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying that at all. Certainly not. But can we agree that we're concerned? Is it fair? Is it fair to say you're concerned? I think it is. But see, that's the thing. Like, through all this, through the Javi Baez, clownery and everything that was going on with him, Torkelson's 285 on base percentage. Through all that, though, somehow, some way, and look, the division's laughable. They're 4 games back, and they're 18-21 after starting 2-9.
Yeah.
Through all that, like all the stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, and then you look at guys like Zach Short, who have stepped up big when he's been up, Zach McKinstry, Eric Haas, even Javier Baez. We can laugh at him, but ever since that terrible start and getting benched, he has been playing a lot better, and his on-base percentage, miracles happen, is above 300. And I haven't even talked about the real sort of diamond in the rough, and that is Andy Ibanez, who has been playing damn well. He's been their best hitter when he's been up. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to poo-poo that right away just because it's Andy Ibanez, a guy that I've never really heard of. That's a big deal. And that's the reason why they are only 3 games under 500, even though all the analytics say that they should be worse. They win close games.
They do. And the bullpen, certainly the bullpen yesterday was great.
Yes.
Starting pitching let them down. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Where was it? I had this one. And I wanted to bring this up because I didn't think that that's what we're saying. But Jeremy Anderson says, shocker, Tigers win, and it's all shit talk. And I think I did take the long way to get there to say it's actually miraculous that they're in the position they're in. Because all the analytics, all the stone-cold facts say that they shouldn't. Man, I wonder why that is. Like, it's almost like somebody's kind of keeping it afloat, right? Weird.
Yeah.
Somebody I was told should be fired about 3 weeks ago.
Mr. A.J. Hinch.
Yeah, really wild, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and A.J. Hinch, we were all very, very happy with what he got out of the team in 2021 when they were supposed to be very, very bad, and I think ended up winning 77 games. That was the year where Robbie Grossman, Akil Baddoo, and Jonathan Scope, and all of them pretty much had career years.
Yeah.
I mean, and we gave A.J. Hinch a lot of credit for that.
Jonesy5182 says, I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but not Killian Hayes bust yet. Spenmo, what do you think about that?
I would agree with that. I'm not going to...
No, what do you think about the comp, though, so far?
So far, yeah. I mean, he hasn't been great so far, but baseball's tough, and he got brought up, so I'm still going to give him more time.
Well, I mean,
he has been hitting the ball hard, and he does play a great first base. So
and look, I'm not saying like get him out of here or anything like that. I'll ride with him through the season. Why? What do we got going on anyway?
Yeah.
Who's behind him? Nobody.
They needed to DFA Scope, though, and bring up Malloy immediately.
100%.
Yeah.
Colt Key, whoever. I don't care.
Malloy, for sure. He's mashing. He is mashing.
Fine. You could tell me, we could even play a game where you could say, is this a name out of the phone book or is it a Tigers prospect?
Yeah.
And I would say, yes, bring that person up. Not even knowing if they're actually in the Tigers system or not.
Yeah.
Like, I would say that. Yes, I've seen enough. It's kind of run its course there. Did you guys see in the postgame the Evan Petzold, Akil Baddoo thing?
Yeah.
You saw that?
I did.
No, what happened?
Yeah, Evan Petzold, I guess, asked him a question, and Baddoo, looked him in the eye and said, next question. And then next question got asked, and he just answered it. I don't know what was up with that.
Oh. What was the question? Do you know the question?
I do. I didn't hear. It was something about, I didn't hear it word for word, but something about a hit that he got during the game. It was like a
regular
run-of-the-mill, run-of-the-mill regular question that people asked after a game. It didn't even didn't even ask him at all about, Akil, like, you're hitting 240. What's your thoughts on that? It wasn't even like that.
He's been playing better the past couple of games.
Yeah, I'll be fair to Akil Baddoo. He's having a bounce back year from the year before, where he was just one of the biggest flameouts I can ever remember in Detroit Tigers history.
And he's in my car.
He is, along with Riley Green. Akil Baddoo was on a commercial.
Yeah, CJ Schneider, what were you thinking?
Point.
What were you thinking in this at bat? Yeah. So
that was the question? And
yeah.
you just stone-faced him?
Yeah, it's the next question. So I don't know.
Maybe they got beef.
Maybe they do. Mike G says, Neal, I'm going to the Copa anyway to watch the donut bagel coffee race. Dude, I get down on that.
Oh yeah, I'm always cup of coffee.
Yeah, I put a $5 in there. Yeah. On it. I'm just saying I do.
Wearing the free JMO shirt, betting on the Dunkin' Donuts race.
I'll do that though. I'll get in on that.
It's good action.
Yeah. Real quick, Nicholas Duncan, how was Chicago, Neal? My son was disappointed. Took his first L in jiu-jitsu, so it was disappointing. But at the same time, in that circle, you're going to take L's. Was really cool too. Josh Parisian, our guy, sent him a video. Said, hey,
Very nice.
The most things I ever learned in this was through L's.
Yeah.
So,
what a guy.
Yeah,
for sure.
So it was pretty cool.
You learn more from losses than you do victories, for sure.
His next fight got announced too. He's fighting like a legendary heavyweight. I was talking back and forth. We're gonna get him on again as it gets near.
Hell yeah.
So fighting one of the legends in the UFC game as well. So we'll certainly get Josh back on here, hype that up, get you all
Walt
ready.
Harris.
Yeah, Walt Harris. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So big time fight for Josh. That is a question I have for Josh. What's it like to kick somebody in the face so hard that you break your foot, but don't knock them out? So
that's aggressive.
Yeah, but yeah, that's Dirty Dr. D says Josh is the man. Yes, he is. So we'll be getting him on as that fight becomes near. Strawberry Fest. Yeah, it's back at Big Boy. That can mean a couple things to you. If you're a breakfast person, strawberry hotcakes, pretty self-explanatory. I don't really think you need Strawberry Fest for strawberry hotcakes, but the red velvet waffle,
that
has gotten Spenmo Rax's attention.
Yes,
Let's just say it like that. You're not a breakfast person? I am not. Try the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or the refreshing summer splash salad and dessert. That's what this whole thing was founded on, Strawberry Fest. Of course, you got to go with the strawberry pie. D-Mac will do that. Then he'll do the deep-fried vanilla Oreos. And then after that, he'll go to the strawberry hot fudge cake as well. He's built like that, like a 12-year-old child. Bring him all the desserts. That's the point. It's Strawberry Fest. Get to your local Big Boy today for Strawberry Fest.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, Flannel up here on the desk in for D-Mac. BMG, Big Mike Gentry in the house as well. And we did have to get into the Pistons discussion just because there has been a couple of moments that are newsworthy for the Number one, the draft lottery is tomorrow. We love a draft lottery, even though we hate it. Earlier in the discussion in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, which you can jump into that, somebody said, "I hate that I love it."
That's actually a good word for it. We're addicted.
We are. We're absolutely addicted to draft lotteries. DNC ENT says, "I'm walking in tomorrow with a we're guaranteed number 5, and anything higher is a blessing mindset. No team has stayed at number 1 since the odds changed in 2019. It could be due though." And DNC, you guys, I am on the record for this. This will be I told you so. This is something I'm rooting for. I want to be right on because I do believe it in my bones. DNC, I'm with you on that. A favorite's got to hit, right? Like the number one. That's why it was big for me to get the worst record. Because you know where I stand. The second you can't make the playoffs, you're penalized for winning. That's not a philosophical question. That's math.
It's math.
And math is going to be the point of this whole segment right here. Because I do want to prepare the people. I do expect that we are due for the worst team to get the number one pick. As DNC said, it hasn't happened since 2019. I got a feeling it might.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm not making it a get right. I'm not doing any of that. However, I do want to prepare the people as we go into this because I talked with Juicy J Jeff Iafrate, and on the morning show, I asked him what the people's take about it, where he said the people were convinced that the Pistons were getting the number one pick. It's Wembanyama, and it's that or nothing. And for me, I want to prepare the people, Flannel, because as you go across the board, as a Pistons sit right now, remember I did this and I feel as though it helped with our people, with the Red Wings.
Sure.
In the NHL lottery. Let's take a look at the math, right? Math. Yes, the Pistons have a 14% chance of winning the number one pick. The same as Houston and San Antonio. Charlotte has a 12.5% chance of winning it. Portland has a 10.5% chance of winning it. So that's all pretty comparable across percentages, which is per 100. Everyone, DNC kind of has the proper mindset. There's a 48% chance the Pistons, the biggest chance of anything happening, the 48% chance the Pistons end up with the number 5 pick.
Jesus. Yeah, 90% is no.
Spenmo, that's my point. So there's a 14% chance. There's an 86% chance they don't get number one.
I got it lined up.
Oh, you got it ready?
I got it ready.
Well, in just a couple of moments, we are going to go live to Tankathon, and Spencer Raxter will give it a spin. On the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, are you convinced the Pistons will get the number one pick? All right, 88% of the people say no. So there's that.
So the odds are about the same.
Yeah, that is true. Chris says there's a better chance Grandpa Joe gets a job and pays his share than the Pistons of getting the first pick overall. Man. That's a great way to put it.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, but that's a great way to put it. We are going to go live to it. D-Town Heat says the Rockets getting the number one. I see the Spurs getting a lot of traction to get the number one pick. You guys want a bomb from me? Something that I think that we will see, even though there isn't really a strong way for it to happen. The Dallas Mavericks have a 3% chance of winning the lottery.
You think they're going to win the lottery?
If it's not the Pistons, I think that's who it'll be.
Jesus.
Wow. You got Luka and Victor Wembanyama on the same team.
With possibly Kyrie Irving.
With possibly Kyrie Irving, who gets a lot of flack, and rightfully so, especially for this season. But Kyrie Irving, he's a Hall of Fame point guard who still can play. It's just a matter of if he's toxic in the locker room, if him and Luka are a good match together, which it seemed as if parts of last year were not. But if you put them for a full season and offseason and Victor Wembanyama, would they be the Western Conference favorites next year? They'd be right up there.
No.
Victor
Wembanyama, year one, coming over here and playing is not going to take you from out of the playoffs to the number one seed in the Western Conference.
No, but
over the Joker and Denver, Light the Beam, all the teams in the LeBron and alternate days Davis. You can walk that back if you want.
I'm looking at the Dallas Mavericks, though, as not a non-playoff team. Technically, they were, but they certainly have the talent, if they can put it all together, to be a playoff team. They have, two of the top, certainly 15 players in the NBA, one of the top 5. Adding Victor Wembanyama, I don't necessarily think that they will win the Western Conference, but that would be a way to get your team. That would give Luka Doncic his ultimate second star if Victor Wembanyama lives up to what he can live up to be. And hey, and if Victor Wembanyama really lives up to that, it might be 1A and 1B when it comes to dual superstars. But obviously, he's a little bit of an unknown.
All right, so here we are. Again, the Detroit Pistons have a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick, which means they have an 86% chance of not. They are the odds-on favorite to be the number 5 pick. 48% chance of being number 5, 12% at 4, 12.7% chance at 3, and 13.4% chance at 2. So I guess I'm asking the people, speak now or forever hold your peace on it. Do you like draft lotteries or not?
God, it all depends on, I hate to be this person, but it kind of all depends on how the ping pong balls play out. Because if they get number 1, obviously, I mean, the Pistons got gifted number 1, gifted Cade Cunningham, but this...
And that's the other point I was going to bring up. Yeah. Like, tomorrow when we end up picking number 5, can we save
Stop! Don't put those demons on me, Ricky Bobby.
Hey, they're due. The worst teams do. Like, the league does need to do that. They got to have the worst team hit eventually, right?
Yes.
You have to.
Yes.
They're due. But I'm saying, if the Pistons end up picking number 5, can we save it's rigged? It's not rigged. It's the math.
It is rigged.
It's the percentages. We won it a couple years ago.
Rigged.
As not the worst team. We won it.
Rigged.
With Cade.
If the Pistons win the draft lottery, that will mean that they would have won it in 2 out of the last 3 seasons.
Cleveland won it 3 years in a row.
Hey, one of them ended up being Anthony Bennett, but worst NBA player of all time.
See, like the Patty Grimes says no because Detroit always gets screwed. We won it 2 years ago.
Rigged.
We won it 2 years ago.
That's true. Still rigged.
All right. Well, hey, this is infallible. Spencer Raxter right now via Tankathon. We are doing it right now. We live right here on Woodward Sports will be your exclusive home for the first look at the NBA Draft Lottery results. Yes, you can wait till tomorrow on ESPN, or you can just watch right now. This one simple click of the mouse by Spencer Raxter will reveal how the entire NBA Draft Lottery is going to go. Thank you to our good friends at Tankathon.com, one of the greatest websites on Earth.
Yes.
On planet Earth. It is great. They can do this for all the sports, too, by the way. All the sports that have lotteries. It is a great, great website. So without any further ado, Spencer Raxter, can you please spin the ping pong balls?
Oh, boy.
Here we go, everybody. Boom! San Antonio number 1. But the Pistons number 2.
Okay.
No, it was...
Oh, God. Making it worse.
Yeah, you should have just...
There we go,
everybody.
Hey, that's the one.
That's the one right there. 5 clicks in. There, back to back. All right, stop using them
3 in a row.
all. Stop using them all, Spenmo. Or you had to get it off the number 1.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, my God.
The first one was number 2.
I want number 2.
There you go. So we did it, everybody. Lions Planet, we keep moving down to 5. And, guys, that was a great exercise. Lions Planet, the odds say we're going to end up at number 5.
Oh, that would
48% chance. Pretty much a coin flip.
One more time.
Well, all right, this is it. For real. Spenmo for real. 1 click. Everybody knows the rules.
Okay.
Do this 1 click, and this is it. Here we go. Oh! No, we got number 5.
God damn it. Dallas gets number 1. San Antonio gets number 2. Fuck Texas, man.
Osar Thompson from Overtime Elite, though? 6'7" wing?
Nope.
What number? Or then who are you taking at number 5? Spenmo?
Nobody.
Rating it.
You just passing?
Yes.
There's no pick.
Pass.
We're good.
It's twin brother Amon. They're like... Yeah, those are... I think one of those would be the pick at 5, but it would still be very, very disappointing. But if anybody wants any bit of hope, the Pistons also had a lesser pick last year than what their record indicated, and they got Jaden Ivey at number 5.
Shut your mouth, Sam.
I'm trying to be a little bit positive. That would be just terribly disappointing, though. And...
Tell us about Swiss Insurance.
Absolutely. I will tell you about Swiss Insurance. Like our draft picks, did the GM do his job? Be a boss and take control of your insurance options. Draft a company that will give you the most cost-effective plan and protect you like the best O-line in the league. Email Swiss Insurance today at mark@swissins.com. That's mark@swissins.com. Or you can go to swissins.com, their website, and check it out.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Monday. Neal, Ruhl, Sam Flannel on the desk in for D-Mac, BMG, Big Mike Gentry in the house, and Spencer Raxter mixing and scratching as well. And happy to have all of you with us here today. And WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Life with Cool. Will Ermanni Bates get drafted? Yes. Yes, Ermanni Bates will get drafted. Yeah, so there is that as well. But the couple of the questions that I saw, and I saw Brandon Katz talking about it, where just a couple of general house cleaning NFL moves over the weekend. Obviously, Zadarius Smith got traded from the Minnesota Vikings, went to Cleveland, right? Yes, Cleveland. The Browns got Zadarius Smith, a 6th-round pick, a 7th-round pick, and the Vikings got 2 5th-round picks in return. Also, the Vikings news as well. They're expected to release Dalvin Cook, as they could not work out a trade for Cook, so that is out there as well. So yes, Brandon Katz, when you were saying that the Vikings would not release Cook, yes, they would. You going to keep him and pay him $14, or are you going to cut him and get $6 million of cap space? Seems to be pretty easy to me.
Man, the Vikings, they've lost a lot of players. I mean, Zadarius Smith was a 10-sack guy. Dalvin Cook was a perennial 1,000-yard rusher. They also lost Eric Kendricks and Patrick Peterson. I don't know. I think the Vikings are going to regress mightily this season. Maybe even have a losing record.
Right. So there is that out there as well. That was something that happened. Philippines on Demand. Neal, if we get the first pick, how about trading it to the Bucks for Giannis? Is it financially doable? I see what you're trying to do right there.
If we don't get the first pick, I'm calling Minnesota. And I'm saying, what do you want for Anthony Edwards? I'll give you 5 first-round picks and Isaiah Stewart. And anybody on this team not named Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey,
they couldn't trade 5 first-round picks because the
No,
Knicks,
I'd give them 5 first.
Yeah, the Knicks technically own one of our first-round picks.
Well, I'd still give them 5.
So they can't. They can't trade them that far out.
I'd give them 4 and an IOU.
I would give them 1 first-round pick.
Anything they want. Anything they want, not named Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, or Jalen Duren.
Click.
You can have the entire team and 4 first-round picks. I don't know. Minnesota gave up 5 first-round picks for fucking Rudy Gobert, so
Jesus Christ,
they might be trying to get some of that back.
Rudy Gobert.
I'd rather go after Cat. No. Boo, Karl Anthony Towns. Boo.
So. Yeah, people ask my question. I like it because I don't have to do this. Arthur Fonzarelli, good to see the Fonz taking in the show. Why the hell would Minnesota do that?
Because he doesn't want to be there. He's going to ask out anyways. He's not re-signing with them, and they need to get back some draft capital.
I mean, if I'm Minnesota, I might take that trade actually. If I'm Minnesota. Gave up quite a bit to get Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, and it's not working.
Not working.
And Anthony Edwards does not like anybody he plays with or the city of Minnesota, so he's not going to stay there.
The city of Minnesota?
Whatever. Same thing.
Philippines on Demand.
What city are they in?
Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Philippines on Demand. Damn, got busted by Neal. Ha, ha, ha. Hey. You gotta be better than that. Jack Harrington says a Vikings window has closed. Was it ever really open, though?
Front row for the Vikings' downfall.
Yeah. And I'm happy to see
never open. It was never open at any point in time.
No way they give up Edwards, though. He is untouchable. If he's walking away, they're going to give him up. People thought Donovan Mitchell was untouchable. People thought Kawhi Leonard was untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, people thought, I don't know, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant were untouchable.
And that is true.
Scorned All-Stars leave. That's what happens in the NBA today.
They have the power, man. They absolutely do have the power. Speaking of the NBA, Monty Williams got fired from Phoenix.
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of people's one of people's favorite games is the Pistons coaching search and what is going on. I know we heard Kevin Ollie was one of the favorites, and here's kind of where I am with it. And this isn't, I don't have any inside information from the team or anything like that. This is just me kind of putting two and two together, Sam Flannel. You said you like when I do this, that sometimes it opens up some eyes to it.
Sure.
With the Kevin Ollie thing, saying that he's the favorite in the clubhouse, obviously this was all before the Monty Williams thing went down. But I'm approaching that from the reverse angle. I think the Phoenix Suns would very much be interested in Kevin Ollie.
Why?
Because Kevin Ollie and Durant are tight. Kevin Ollie is Kevin Durant's guy. And look, I'm not telling you it's what I would do. I'm just telling you this is how it works. And despite the fact that I tried to warn you and the Phoenix Suns organization that doing this Kevin Durant deal, that there was no chance that you saw Kevin Durant and Chris Paul healthy for an entire Western Conference final, which we'll never know if they would have been healthy or not because they didn't get there, because they came across the path of the Joker. And the best player in the National Basketball Association made the Phoenix Suns feel him.
Right now, yeah, he is the best player.
But through all that being said, if you can Google it and look back at it, Kevin Durant has loved Kevin Ollie for a very long time. I'm wondering if the Phoenix Suns thing has an impact on the Pistons coaching search, but not in the way that you think it will.
You know, I'll tell you what. If the Phoenix Suns steal Kevin Ollie away from the Detroit Pistons, that will be just fine by me. I mean, no disrespect to Kevin Ollie, but the Detroit Pistons, they're at a time where I think they need to go after someone who's a little bit more proven instead of a guy who's never been on an NBA bench as a coach, who won a championship at UConn in 2014, but I think that was more Shabazz Napier going nuclear, because the rest of his time at UConn was pretty much lots of NITs and early exits in the tournament. So Kevin Ollie, if he can get off of the Detroit Pistons radar, that would be great. Go to Phoenix. I'd rather have someone who's more proven, personally.
I also heard a report that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to aggressively pursue Monty Williams.
I could see that. I could definitely see that for sure. And real talk, like, if you're Monty Williams,
where else would you want to go?
What situation is more appealing?
Mm-hmm.
None other than Milwaukee.
Honestly, that makes me happy. Bucks can sign Monty Williams. That means the Pistons can sign Charles Lee, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I would love Charles Lee here.
Like I said, there's no intel from that. No league sources have told me that or anything like that. It's just reading and taking note and putting things together and saying. So I'm saying that the Suns situation, because that was a surprise, but from the writers after the fact were saying it was very much not a surprise. That it just wasn't a fit with everybody. So I don't know. You're going to hear this too, Spencer, so be ready for this. Adis 411. Tom Izzo, Suns, $10 million a year, golf membership, part owner, private plane, and crib in Scottsdale.
Not a chance.
I'm with you on that. No way.
He's making a run at number 2.
And that's
First of all, and that's it. If he's not at Michigan State, he's retired. And second of all, his coaching style does not suit the NBA today.
Not even a little bit.
John Beilein lasted like 8 weeks in the NBA. It's just not. And you hear the way he talks too, right? About about the state of the game and about college basketball now. That doesn't seem like, and he's had the opportunity before to do it.
Yeah, what Izzo likes is molding young players. Is molding these young guys into stars.
He could have coached LeBron.
Yes.
And said, nah, bro, I'm good. So I'm with you on that. And you're going to hear it because of the Ishbia thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and because it's Tom Izzo and, the Ishbia thing. But there's no chance of that happening. Like Spenny and you said, I cannot imagine his coaching style being conducive to the NBA at all, especially given the fact that Tom Izzo is up there in age. And like Spenny said, he wants ring number 2 because that's what would truly put him as an immortal NCAA basketball head coach. And as much as I hate to admit it, the recruiting class is elite this year.
J. Will fan says, when Kevin Ollie wins championships, Sam Flannel will say, we should have signed Kevin Ollie. Your response?
When he does, sure, but he hasn't yet. He's never even spent a second on an NBA head coaching bench as any coach, assistant or anything. He's been at UConn, and then he's been, at overtime elite. That's it. All he was is one of those NBA journeymen who were maybe coach, like kind of a leader, player, coach type of guy, but he's never been a coach anywhere, at least at an NBA level.
Christopher Charzon in the Woodward Sports chat says, it's not the coaches, though. It's the players who aren't able to be coachable in the NBA. If you're making $250 million and some guy making $20 million tries to tell you what to do and yell and get in your face, what do you think you're doing? And if an organization, a franchise, has one player they've invested $250 million in and a head coach they've invested $20 million in, whose side do you think they're taking? It's a money game, man.
Right. Who's the replaceable one and who's the not replaceable one? They have the power, dude. They do. So, it's a situation I hope to have one day that I currently do not have now, where I can just walk in and say, I'll leave if I don't get what I want. I'm going to need $2 million a year.
Yeah.
Or I'm leaving. They'll be like, oh, well, good luck.
Facts.
That'll be the way that goes. Steve Wild says Vikings will be 6-11. So people praying on the Vikings' downfall.
That wouldn't shock me. I'm not calling for it, but they're going to win 8 games or less. Book it.
All right, there it is. Neal Ruhl here for Planet Fitness. We're live in the Planet Fitness studios every single day here at Woodward Sports, as you know. I was at Planet Fitness about 2.5 hours ago, getting the miles in on the treadmill because there were plenty of treadmills everywhere. You never have to wait in line for anything like that. Plenty of weights, plenty of cardio equipment. You come in, you handle your business, boom, you're done. You can go home. You got your work in for the day. Planet Fitness, $1 down, $10 per month for access to your home club. They have different plans all the way up to the black card at just $24.99 a month. People that are out there in the gym game today, black card membership's $24.99 a month. You guys know, some of you are out there paying $50, $60, $70 a month because your gym has a rock wall, guys, all right? Hey, there's not a rock wall at Planet Fitness, but you know what there is? Exercise stuff where you could, put in work. It's really wild, I know. And don't forget, too, the high school summer pass is going on at Planet Fitness. Something really cool that Planet Fitness does. They allow high schoolers ages 14 to 19 in the U.S. and Canada to work out for free all summer long from now until August 31st. The high school summer pass offers a solution for teenagers to stay active during the summer when school is out. They don't have all those activities, the gym classes, all of that. Planet Fitness, not just talking about it, they're being about it. So, again, a great organization. I've been there 3 years. I love it. I don't get a free membership or anything. I'm just telling you guys what has happened to me. Couldn't imagine working out somewhere else. It's Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com or pull in the parking lot. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit. Pull in the parking lot. Join up right there if you want to. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Spemo put this on there. Ask Neal. Questions for the heel Neal in the chat. Feel free. You want to ask something, fire away on that WoodwardSports.com chat poll that just went away. 86% of the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect the Pistons to win the lottery. 77%. It's my apology. So a late close. But again, the Pistons have remember, guys, 86% chance they don't get picked number 1. So I just want that out there. Saw this tweet come across from Spot Track. 2023-24, Sam Flannel. The Golden State Warriors will have the highest payroll in the NBA at $210 million. And they will owe $25 million in luxury tax.
Well, let's hope that we never see them make a deep run in the playoffs again, and that would make me very, very happy.
Yeah.
Dude, you're just such a hater.
He is.
I do.
Interesting. Number 2 highest payroll, the Clippers at $201 million. The Miami Heat are 3rd. The New York Knicks are 4th.
Who the fuck are the Heat paying all that money to? They have like 12 undrafted free agents.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson's getting a lot of money.
That's a good point, yeah.
Duncan Robinson, man. And the Hawks, $170 million next year, 5th highest payroll.
And the Clippers at number 2. Talk about a team that just has flamed out as an organization ever since the days of Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, continuing into the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. I thought for sure that they would have won a championship by now, but no.
You got to play, man.
You got to play.
At some point, you got to play.
Yep.
Jack Harrington asked Neal, why does Sam look like Vanilla Ice?
Do I?
I don't know.
I mean, that's fine. This is my day of celebration. I really wanted more than anything to do a show on Saturday because I was just so hyped. And things got tempered a little bit. I calmed down, but had to dial it back for Monday morning. It's a great morning.
Patty Grimes. Neal, what Woodward sports person would you trade for the Pistons' number 1 pick? Well, what are they calling for?
Ooh, who would you trade here? I love all my coworkers. I'm not trading anybody.
But let's be real. This is a business. You know, we got to do what's best for the organization. And sometimes in order for there to be gain, there has to be sacrifice.
I am not getting baited. I love all my coworkers here. You guys are all wonderful people.
Let's just cut the ish. Who do you want?
Yeah. Pick.
Who do you want?
Pick. Take them off the roster. They're yours. I'll trade myself.
Whatever it takes. Yeah. Whatever it takes to get it done. Robert McDaniel. I wonder what the narrative will be from Neal and Adam if Goff struggles this season. Oh, I know their opinion in when Goff was traded here. I don't think that you know my opinion when Goff was traded here. Like I was fine with it. It's been constant. My talking, I'm like Spenny. Spenny's been the other way. He's been consistent. I've been consistent. Jared Goff has achieved more than he's been paid for here. That's a fact. That's a factual statement.
Sam, the Runyon 99 wants to know if you cut your own sleeves.
I did cut these sleeves.
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a great job by me, but that's all right. It's a celebration time.
Shout out to Runyon.
It is a great day.
Yeah, Hoof-Hearted. If you could guarantee that the Pistons pick 3rd this year, who would you take? Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, whoever's left.
Nobody.
You would too.
Nobody.
You're a Brandon Miller guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but
yeah. So you would be on there as well. Jack Harrington. Do you think Sam looks like Joe Dirt's cousin? He does.
Yeah.
Neal, if you could have it your way, who would you want as the Pistons' next head coach, and why? Yeah, I mean, the Monty Williams thing certainly would be intriguing to me. The Budenholzer thing, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's a linear move from Dwayne Casey.
There's something to that. Like, and Giannis, like everyone likes Giannis, right?
Yes.
Like we can pretty much agree Giannis isn't a dick, right?
Right.
He doesn't have those kinds of qualities.
He's a funny guy.
He could have stopped it.
Yeah.
He's got that juice. He could have stopped it. And instead, he didn't stop it. So there's something there that I don't like.
I'll tell you what, though. I think the disrespect of Mike Budenholzer has gone a little bit too far. He's not Dwayne Casey. He actually won a championship and got the Atlanta Hawks with Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, Paul Millsap, and Al Horford to over 60 wins.
Once.
That's fair. That's fair. They were the number 1 seed. Didn't do anything in the playoffs, but still, he's a good coach.
Dwayne Casey was a great coach in Toronto.
great.
Coach of the year.
Coach of the year. Great coach. Best coach of the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't say great. I'd say good.
All right, D-Mac will be back in the house tomorrow, and we will be back at it as well. Big thanks to BMG, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel, all of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread as well. Thanks for tapping in to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.